This video is brought to you by AEJuice. Get ready to use professional and easy to use transitions and presets. You can get them individually or you can get it in a bundle. Check out the first link in the description. Hello guys, welcome back to my another After Effects tutorial. In this After Effects tutorial, we are going to create this. Here you can see, I have already imported the files required for this project. You can download them from below, link in the description. Complete After Effects template is also available on my web store, link is provided in the description. Now let's start with creating our logo reveal. Here we will be creating multiple compositions separately. Let's start with creating our first composition. Name it as logo. For this composition, here I will set time duration to 5 seconds, remaining everything will be same. Now let's add the logo to the timeline. You can scale your logo if needed. Here I will scale my logo. Perfect. Now let's create another composition. Name this composition as Logo Wipe 1. Remaining everything will be same. Let's add the logo composition to the timeline. Select the rectangle tool. Now double-click on this rectangle tool to create mask. For this logo composition, in Effects and Preset, search for Fill. Add Fill to logo composition. Here you can set any color of your choice. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Scribble, add it to the logo composition. Now at start of the timeline, create keyframe for stroke width. Set width to 0. Now at 2 seconds. Change stroke width to 20. You can see the preview. Press U to view keyframes. Now select keyframes. Change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now at near about 4 seconds. Create keyframe for end. Now at start, change end value to 0%. You can see the preview. Press U to view created keyframes. Now select keyframes, change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. You can see the preview. Perfect. Change wiggle type to static. Change composition to reveal original image. You can see the preview. Perfect. Now let's create another composition. Name it as Logo Wipe 2. Remaining everything will be same. Now add the logo composition to the timeline. Now create a new solid layer. Name it as Grid Line. In Effects and Preset, search for Grid. Add it to the Grid Line layer. Change side from to width and height slides. Increase the width amount as shown. Position the anchor point in such a way that the line is not over the logo. Now decrease the height. Perfect. Here you can set the color of lines. Now for this grid line layer, change mode to classic difference. For this grid layer, we will set opacity to 35%. Press R to bring up rotation, set rotation to -45 degrees. Now let's create a new solid. Name it as Wipe. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Radial Wipe. Add it to the wipe layer. Now at 3 seconds, create keyframe for transition completion. At start, change transition completion to 100%. Set wipe to counterclockwise. Here you can position the wipe center, set it according to your logo. You can see the preview. Now for wipe layer, press U to view keyframes, select keyframes, change keyframe assistant to easy ease. Change mode to stencil alpha. You can see the preview. Now to hide this outside lines, we need to add the logo composition to the timeline. Place it above grid line. For grid line, change track matte to alpha matte logo. You can see the preview. Perfect. Now let's create another composition, name it as logo outline. Remaining everything will be same. Let's add the logo wipe 1 composition to the timeline. Now add the logo composition to the timeline. For logo composition, change mode to stencil alpha. Perfect. Now again add a logo composition to the timeline. In Effects and Preset, search for Matte Choker. Add it to the logo composition. For Matte Choker, set Geometric Softness 1 to 5. Choke 1 to 127. Gray Level to 5. You can see the preview. For below logo composition, change track matte to alpha inverted matte logo. Perfect. Now again add a logo composition. In Effects and Preset, search for Vegas. Add it to the logo composition. For Vegas, in Image Contour, change channel to alpha. Change short contour to have fewer segments. Change segments to 10. Change segment distribution to bunched. Change blend mode to transparent. Change width to 30. Change midpoint opacity to 1. End opacity to 1. Now at 2 seconds. Create keyframe for length. Now at start. Change length to 0. For logo composition, change mode to stencil alpha. You can see the preview. Let's make them random. Now select on random phase. You can see the random preview for outline. Perfect. Now let's create another composition, name it as logo reveal. Remaining everything will be same. Now let's add the logo wipe 1 composition to the timeline. Let's place it at 5 frames. Now add logo wipe 2 composition to the timeline. Place this composition at 1 second. Now add the logo outline composition to the timeline. You can see the preview. Now let's create another composition, name it as foreshadow. Remaining everything will be same. Add the logo wipe 1 composition to the timeline. In Effects and Preset, search for Fill. Add it to the logo wipe composition. Set fill color to white. Now press R to bring up rotation. At Start, create keyframe for rotation, set rotation to -60 degrees. Now at end of the timeline, change rotation to -135 degrees. You can see the preview. Now let's create another composition, name it as long shadow. Remaining everything will be same. Add the foreshadow composition to the timeline. Foreshadow composition, in Effects and Preset, search for Fast Box Blur. Add it to the shadow composition. Set iteration to 1. Set blur dimension to horizontal. Now increase the blur radius. You can see the preview. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Set Matte. Add it to the shadow composition. For Set Matte, change Take Matte from Layer to None. Select Invert, uncheck Composite Matte with Original. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Invert. Add it to the shadow composition. For shadow composition, press R to bring up rotation. At Start, create keyframe for rotation, set rotation to 60 degrees. For end, set rotation to 130 degrees. You can see the preview. Now let's add the logo composition to the timeline. We will use it as just reference layer or guidance layer. Here you are free to adjust the blur length. Let's set the end rotation value to 135 degrees. Here you need to adjust the shadow composition according to the logo. Now while pressing Y key on keyboard, position the anchor point. Position it in such a way that it is at center of the logo. Here you need to take your time and position the anchor point according to your logo. Now let's create our final composition. Name it as Logo Animation. Now let's create a new solid layer. This will be our background. In Effects and Preset, let's search for Fill. Add it to the background solid layer. Change Fill Color. Here you can set any color of your choice for the background. Now let's add the long shadow composition to the timeline. For long shadow, change mode to multiply. For shadow composition, let's remove this logo composition. Now let's set the opacity for long shadow composition to 15%. Now add the Paper 1 media file to the timeline. For paper layer, set mode to overlay. For paper layer, set opacity to 15%. Now let's add the logo reveal composition to the timeline. Now add the Paper 2 media file to the timeline, change mode to overlay. Let's set opacity to 25%. Perfect. Now let's create a new adjustment layer. In Effects and Preset, search for Tint. Add Tint to Adjustment Layer. Set amount of tint to 25%. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Vibrance, add it to the Adjustment Layer. Set Vibrance to -1. Set Saturation to -3. Perfect. Now let's create a new solid. Name it as Grain. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Noise. Add it to the Grain layer. Set amount of noise to 8. For Grain layer, change mode to Overlay. For this grain layer you are free to adjust the opacity, you can set it according to your choice. Now let's change the composition and paper layer to 3D. Now let's create a new camera. Now create a null object. Change null to 3D. Parent camera to null object. For null, press P to bring up position. Now at 4 seconds, create keyframe for position. Now at start, increase the Z position value as shown. Now select End Keyframe, change Keyframe Assistant to Easy Ease. Now adjust the speed graph as shown. Perfect. Now let's add the cinematic frame, create a new solid layer, name it as Frame. Make sure solid color is set to black. Now double click on the rectangle tool to create mask. For mask 1, change path. Set unit to % of source. Set top to 10%. Bottom to 90%. Select inverted. Now let's see the complete preview. Here our vintage style logo reveal is created. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. See you next week with another awesome tutorial.